This afternoon, I'm going to have a client dropping by the shop, and what we're going to be doing is working on this console, which is currently a functional prototype made out of Baltic birch, and we're going to be remaking this in acrylic. This is a music instrument, a synthesizer that is touch sensor based, and it locks accompaniment with multiple people playing at the same time, people of different musical skill levels. So this would be installed in a school or a museum. They're experimenting with tactile touch for the visually impaired at the school where it's going to be installed. And it's nice to have clients drop by because you get that immediate feedback and their input, and a lot of times miscommunications and back and forth can be completely eliminated. So it's nice to have clients drop by, give you immediate feedback. It's also nice to have an extra set of hands, as you'll see in the video. So we made these satellites for them in the past for doing sound effects, and it's kind of a retro look with wooden sides and then the acrylic middle. What we're going to be making today is an acrylic piece for the middle of this, and we'll zip right through it so you can see how we're using a strip heater to heat the sections of acrylic and then folding them around a form. So we've laser cut and built this form. We used a couple pieces out of the middle to make the sides just to save material, and we'll be folding the acrylic around this form. See you when we're done. This first shot is the internals of the functional prototype. It's a microchip MPR 121 capacitive touch sensor and an Arduino board. It's kind of tacky looking, but you're going to hear why it's so nice to get a functional prototype made and in front of people, because until you look at something and you really start poking at it, sometimes it's hard to make design decisions. And so a little aside from the acrylic folding, but I thought it was interesting.
I'm not sure that you having all the lights being in a strip like this is the most useful way to do it. And for some of these things like the rhythm lock, rather than the touch sensor having some sort of a toggle switch so that you can just feel what state it's in.
I'm going to run through this first bend in real time, just so you can see the strip heater and how it works. And it's this orange piece of heat tape, essentially, that's glued to the MDF over there on the left. And now I've had the acrylic sitting on there for about 20 minutes, and I'm just going to set the form on it, hold it firmly, and bend it up around this front edge. Then I'm marking it, I'm going to move it over, and it's kind of rinse and repeat from here on out. Now you're going to see me doing some funny hand motions here. I realized that we probably should have bent that internal corner first, because here in this bend we're having to flex the acrylic to get it flat on that bend. We had plenty of space between the two bends, so it worked out fine, but we kind of dodged a bullet there. Now you can lay out your piece and set it all up to the theoretical lines of where each bend is going to be, but I've found that the acrylic kind of moves and stretches as you go along, so I like to do a bend and then mark the next bend at the center of the radius, and then do a bend and mark the next bend, and that keeps it from kind of creeping up on you, because if you do them all at once and lay out the theoretical bends, you may find that by the last bend it comes out in a lot different place than you started with. And you can see me taking out my phone each time we set up a piece on the strip heater and setting my timer, turning off my timer, so that we make sure that we get kind of a consistent result on each corner. I just want to add here, earlier I said the strip heater was like a piece of heat tape. Mechanically it's like a piece of heat tape, but it's actually a specialized heater that gets much hotter than heat tape like you would buy for wrapping around your pipes. So don't try and use heat tape to heat acrylic. Go to a vendor that sells acrylic and they can probably point you in the right direction.
Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take one photograph just so that I
Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe it inspired you to use acrylic bent around a mold to make something of your own. Have a great day.